it's Zapanta here, and as you can see, I'm sitting on a swing, and I'm actually sitting in front of our place. We just live up the hill over there, and this is Playa Flamingo. This is actually Playa Flamingo Marina, right in front of the beach. And I want to share something with you today. You know, you probably see the title of this video. What do you do when you're having a bad day? You know, we all have days where we just don't feel good. You know, I'm having one of those days right now. And no particular reason, but I do want to share something with you that's allowed me to get kind of a perspective on it that I hadn't considered before. And has also allowed me to get a sense of relief, actually, in the moment. So, you know, by the end of this video, if you really implement what I talk about, you can get that sense of relief as well, especially in those times when you're just really feeling like crap, you know? So I've been reading a lot lately, and two books that have come in my path that, you know, I've talked about one of them before is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle and The Miracle of Mindfulness. So I'll leave, you know, some info below in the video about that. But pretty much it's something I've never really heard. You know, I've definitely been a studier of change, I guess. You know, we're living this entrepreneurial life here in Costa Rica and really changed a lot of things, right? So I'm always open to growth and challenge. But there's one thing that I've kind of accepted as fact, you know, and definitely a lot of my beliefs lately have been broken down quite a bit, which is good. It's a dropping of the ego. But pretty much it's that, you know, I've always said in my life that I'm a very emotional person, you know? It's like, I remember when I would have these discussions where I would just be like, I'm just emotional, you know? I'm just emotional, just accept it. And lately, I've had to really drop that. And it's thanks to reading The Power of Now, and then, you know, going on to The Miracle of Mindfulness. And, you know, I've started meditating as well, and it's helped me immensely. But pretty much the perspective shift is something they say is, you know, we can get caught up in here a lot. I've heard this called your monkey mind, right? And it's almost like a waste of energy. And, you know, I always wanted to think myself into feeling happier or feeling better, you know. I thought it all came from here, that I could just think myself into it. There's a lot of things right that way, you know. There's a lot of books out there that say that. And it still didn't help. I still, you know, I would find myself beating myself up. You know, I shared that in a previous video where, you know, when you really take full accountability and responsibility for yourself, you can get into that cycle of beating yourself up if you can't, you know, break out of feeling bad, right? Having a bad day. So one thing that's written kind of in The Power of Now and also Miracle of Mindfulness is to become an observer of your mind, an observer of your emotions, and that there's a far kind of deeper place that we can go. And it's almost like we've all experienced a gap where all of a sudden the past falls away, the future falls away, and we have those instances where, you know, we really feel this immense sense of peace, of relaxation, of contentment, and it's something far deeper than just an emotional state. Far deeper than just thinking something, far deeper than being really excited or being really down. It's this whole other level of being, and it's almost like that silence. You know, when we get into moments where we're really afraid, it's like everything goes blank and we kind of go into like an instinct mode. Same with, you know, if there's a lot of adrenaline junkies out there, if you get yourself into like that really excited state and everything goes blank in your mind, that's the gap I'm talking about. So in those moments when you're feeling down, you know, in Miracle of Mindfulness, the way that they described it is, imagine that you are, you know, you're like a guard at a gate, right? And there's people that come through the gate, the visitor. And the way that you imagine it is, the visitor, those are your thoughts. So you're the guard, and you watch the visitor come in. You watch the thought come in or the feeling come in. But there can't be that level of separation either. And to take it to a different level, you're the guard and you're the visitor. So it's not to separate your mind, because you are your mind, you are your feelings. But it's also to realize that you can observe those things, and that they're not who you are. If you're having a bad day, it's not who you are. So one thing that's helped, Power of Now and Miracle of Mindfulness that they talk about is instead of fighting those feelings of whatever, if you're sad or just disappointed or whatever kind of day you're having, instead of fighting it, trying to think your way out of it, just accept it, embrace it, be aware of it, it's okay, and automatically you'll start to feel a sense of relief. And relief is really what you're looking for. Not a huge shift in terms of how you feel, it's relief. And the more relief you can get, the more you can be present, the more in the moment you can be, the more the past falls away. You're not your past, you're your present moment. And the less the future, the less we worry, the less we try to project ourselves into the future. All that really matters is now, right? So if you're feeling low, I really highly recommend you pick up those 2 books. And, before then, just be aware of it. Just be aware. Be like, okay, I'm feeling low. So what? It'll pass. Everything passes, right? And you'll feel the relief. So, even shooting this video has helped me. I definitely recommend to cut the camera or write something out, journal, do something creative and really kind of work through it. Just be aware of it. So I hope that huge illumination that was for me helps you and really apply it. And again, pick up those 2 books and give me your feedback. Share some of your comments. What do you think of this? And again, coming to you from the beaches of Costa Rica, Cat Zapanta. Have an awesome day.
Enjoy the island in the sun. You can live on the beach and soak up the scenery with exotic animals to see and coconuts to hold your dream. Costa Rica.